Visit ItalianoInlinea.com and discover hundreds of free interactive resources to learn and teach Italian in a practical and fun way.
All right, let's jump right into a really core part of Italian, the indefinite articles, or gli articoli indeterminativi. Basically, this is all about how we say a or n. First up, we're going to tackle the masculine singular forms. Now, there are only two you really need to worry about, and which one you pick all comes down to the very first sound of the word that follows it. So your main guy here is un. This is going to be your go-to for the vast majority of masculine nouns. You'll use it before words that kick off with a simple consonant, and also before words that start with a vowel. And notice, for masculine nouns, there's never an apostrophe. Let's make this real with some examples, shall we? For your regular consonants, you've got un cane, a dog, and un tavolo, a table. And for vowels, un amico, a friend, and un uomo, a man. See how un just works for both? Nice and easy. Okay, but what about the tricky ones? That's where uno comes into play. You can think of uno as the special article you pull out for words that start with what we might call difficult sounds in Italian, just some specific consonant combinations that need a little extra oomph to sound right. And this chart breaks down those difficult sounds perfectly. So if a word starts with an S followed immediately by another consonant, like studente, you need uno. The same goes for these other funky sounds like PS, PN, or GN, as in uno psicologo. And finally, for words starting with an X or a Y, it's always going to be uno, like uno xylofono. All right, that's the masculine side of things covered. You with me? Good. Now let's switch gears and look at the feminine singular articles. The logic is just as clear, but, the rules are a little bit different. For feminine words, your main article is una. And the rule here is wonderfully simple. You use una before any feminine word that begins with a consonant. Any consonant at all. So for example, una casa, una scuola, una strada. And hey, pay close attention to this last one, una studentessa. This is actually a really important example, and you'll see why in just a moment. And here it is. This is the key difference I was talking about. Remember how masculine words starting with S plus a consonant needed that special article uno? Well, for feminine words, that rule just doesn't apply. It's uno studente for masculine, but it's just a simple una studentessa for feminine. This really highlights a crucial difference between the genders in Italian grammar. Okay, so what if a feminine word starts with a vowel? This is where that apostrophe you might have been expecting finally makes its appearance. You take una, you drop the A at the end, and you add an apostrophe, which gives you un. It's all about making the pronunciation flow smoothly. And you can really hear how well it works in these examples. Just listen. Un'amica, un'idea, un'autrice, un'ora. See how the sound just glides from the article right into the noun? So much smoother. Okay, let's just quickly cover a few more special cases. How do we handle all those loanwords that start with foreign letters like H, W, or K? This table lays it all out. Since the letter H is silent in Italian, you just treat the word like it starts with a vowel, so you get un hotel. W and K pretty much act like normal consonants, giving us un whiskey or una web series. And remember those difficult sounds? X and Y still follow that rule for masculine nouns, taking uno, as in uno iat. But for feminine nouns, it's back to the simple una.
So we've pretty much nailed the singular. But what happens when you're not talking about a book, but some books or some ideas? Well, let's dive into the plural.
So what about the plural? It's a good question, right? Is there really a plural for a or an? Well, in Italian, the answer is kind of yes and no. In modern Italian, when you want to express the idea of some, you use what are called partitive articles. And these are your three key words, dei, degli, and delle. And here's the best part. If you already know your definite articles, I, gli, and le for the, then you're basically already there. It's just a simple formula. You take the preposition di and you combine it with the definite article. D plus E becomes de. D plus gli becomes degli. And D plus le gets you delle. It's that easy. So now that we know how to form them, let's look at how to use them. And again, fantastic news. The rules for using DEI, DEGLI, and delle are exactly the same as the rules for the definite articles they're built from.
So you'll use de with any masculine plural noun that would normally take the definite article e. Makes perfect sense, right? So ai libri, the books, becomes dei libri, some books. Ai cani, the dogs, becomes dei cani.
And you guessed it, degli is used with any masculine plural noun that would normally take gli. This covers words starting with a vowel, like degli amici, and also those words with our difficult sounds, like degli studenti or degli psicologi. The pattern holds up perfectly.
And then we get to the feminine plural, and it's just beautifully simple. All feminine plural nouns take the definite article le, which means they all use delle for the partitive. So le case becomes delle case, and le amiche becomes delle amiche. One easy rule for all of them.
So there you have it. The rules are clear, they're logical, but now it's all about practice. That's what's going to make the difference. So start listening for these, start using them, and I promise they'll become second nature before you know it.
If you enjoy these videos, help the channel grow by subscribing and giving the videos a thumbs up.